Good morning, Malaysia.
Welcome to the Timmy Talk podcast. I'm your host, Annabelle Juanitas.
And I'm your other host, Kion Thornton.
We're going to get right into it because this is the third time that we started this recording.
Yes. Every time we want to record an episode, something happens where we have to cut it and do it 3 more times.
The universe wants to get in our way, but nevertheless, we persist.
In the words of Aaliyah, if at first you don't succeed, first you don't succeed. You can just sit off and try again. Yes.
Yeah. So, obviously, today we're talking about Prom.
Yes.
Prom.
Promise, I'm gonna call it. Oh, wait, let's talk about what we're going to talk about the whole episode.
Yes.
There's only like 3 major things. We're going to talk about prom. We're going to read some advice column. Mm-hmm. And then since one of you fans asked, we're going to go into Timmy's lore.
We're going to go into the very real, true, and researched Timmy lore.
Yes, well-researched, no improv whatsoever.
So about that prom. It happened for our listeners 5 days ago.
Yes.
As we determined in our last recording by counting it on our fingers. Of course. How many days.
Basic arithmetic.
And we should probably talk about the lead up to it, mm-hmm. because that's a whole thing.
It is.
Like, personally, it feels like you can feel the energy on the campus. Mm-hmm. It's like very focused. Especially if you're an upperclassman.
Yes. Like,
people are getting their nails done. Mm-hmm. Leadership students are freaking out. Like, I know Edgar, he was like one of the people that was in charge of the playlist, mm-hmm. and he was like working hard on that playlist. Yes. He was putting his heart and soul into that playlist. Exactly.
I feel prom is to other people what the spirit rally is to me. Where like I will talk about it the whole week and probably the whole month. Because like, mm-hmm. if you talk to any upperclassmen during the week of prom, mm-hmm. most of their sentences are like, oh yeah, I'm getting my nails done for prom, I'm getting my hair done for prom.
Yeah.
I haven't bought my dress yet, my dress doesn't come in.
Yeah.
God dang Shein and their late return fees.
And then the dudes are just chilling.
Yeah.
So when we do say people.
When we say people, we mean those of you who get your nails, hair, and dress done. And for the other people, hey, how's that tuxedo rent?
Goodbye. No, you know what's... I don't know if I want to expose them, but I know someone that has a suit that they have been wearing, like, ever since high school started, that they also got handed down from their brother that was wearing it all throughout high school. And that's what they wore to prom.
That's a great way to save money, though.
Mm-hmm.
Little life hack, if you have an older sibling, steal their clothes.
And who's going to know?
Exactly. As long as you don't tell someone who will put it out, like, on a public podcast. But, like, who's gonna know?
Not I.
Not I, said the cat. Not I, said the hen. Speaking of that, okay, I'm gonna talk...
How are you gonna segue from that?
No, because we're gonna get back on the prom, but I need to talk about this. Do you know the story of, like, the hen that cooked the bread?
The hen that cooked the bread?
There was, like, a hen, and she was like, who wants to help me make this bread? Mm. And then the cat goes, I don't want to help you. Mm. Then the dog goes, I don't want to help you neither. Then, like, the pig goes, yeah, not I. They all say...
Not I.
Yeah, it all goes, not I, said the cat, not I, said the horse, not I, said the whatever.
The whole barn?
The whole barn. None of them helped her. And so she was like, okay, so I'm going to bake this bread by myself, LOL. So she baked the bread, and then they go like, oh, I want some.
Oh. So what happened a few moments ago?
When you said, not I. Then she was like, I thought you said not you. And so they were like, but we're hungry. And she was like, then you should have helped me make the bread, LOL.
I was hungry for help.
I was hungry for some help around this kitchen. Mm-hmm. And none of them helped her, so she didn't give any of the bread.
Honestly, good for her.
She's such a girl boss for that. And you know what that made me think of? Girls getting ready for prom.
Yeah, so, and then the day of prom, obviously, is a whole event.
It's a whole day. People
will hang out together, they'll get ready together, and...
Like, the day of prom, you wake up, prom's already happened.
Yes.
Because when you wake up, you have to get dressed, you have to get your makeup done, nails done, hair, you have to get it all ready.
You gotta get... A lot of people eat dinner ahead of time.
Yes. You have to get ready for the pictures beforehand, and then you also have to get ready for prom itself. Mm-hmm. Which is really fun.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sound like, oh, she's lying, but, like, I was supposed to be in the photo.
The one photo?
Yeah.
The prom photo.
I was supposed to be in the prom photo.
I loved prom this year, just like straight off the bat. One of my favorite moments is like when like the people who come early to take pictures are like all on the lawn and like you see them And it's like, oh my God. Because like when at prom, it's like you're seeing people in a whole different light. Mm-hmm. They're all glammed up. They all got like a beautiful gown. They have like makeup and hair and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. When I said beautiful gowns, do you know that Aretha Franklin clip?
Aretha Franklin talking about Nicki Minaj, or was it Taylor Swift? It was one of them.
It was Taylor Swift. It was Taylor Swift.
It was Taylor Swift. Where she was like, "Oh, I love her music, love her set."
No.
And then she got to Taylor Swift, and she was like, "Beautiful gowns."
Yeah. So like an interviewer was like asking her about like modern musical artists, and the interviewer was like, "What do you think of Adele?" And she was like, "Very talented singer. Love her music." And like,
what do you think of Beyonce? She's a great performer. Mm-hmm. Love her performances.
Then Taylor Swift, beautiful gowns.
gorgeous gowns.
The subtle shade is so.
It was a shade. She was just telling a fact. She was like, because does Taylor Swift not have gorgeous gowns? She does.
She does. It's not a lie. It's an omission.
It's not a terminological inexactitude. For those of you who listened to the first episode of our podcast, a terminological inexactitude is just a lie.
What is that called? Die-hard fans.
Die-hard fans of the Timmy Talk podcast know what a terminological inexactitude is.
And for our 15th listener out there, you know what it is.
15th listener. If you are watching this on YouTube and it says 14 views, you're the 15th listener.
Go ahead and give me a screenshot.
Screenshot that and send it to us so you can get a prize.
Yeah, people have yet to cash in on that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lost opportunity.
Because we do have some really good prizes. Mm-hmm. And it depends on who you are, what prize I'm going to give you, no offense.
Yeah.
Because like I have some people in mind where are like, oh yeah, I'd give them this. But if it's just like a random like fan, I'd be like, oh yeah.
We should give them like candy.
We should give them a candy. Or like
no, keep it a surprise.
Oh yeah, we're going to keep it a surprise. Don't tell them what candy.
A conversation for off the pod.
Just let us know if you're allergic to chocolate.
Or peanut. Oh, do you actually know something crazy? One of the teachers at my school, I didn't have her, but she was actually allergic to chocolate.
Aww.
And like, as like a elementary schooler, like everybody was like pitied her so much.
I know.
Because when you're in elementary school, that's your life and joy.
Chocolate.
Is chocolate. Like
I actually grew out of chocolate. Like I don't like it that much. You're looking away from me like I'm saying something that's not true.
I'm gonna need to take a pause.
No, because like I really don't like chocolate that much anymore.
How do you?
Because I'm more into like fruity candies now. That's what. Stop. I'm more into like sour sweet candies now, like gummy worms, Sour Patch Kids. This is
crazy. Something shifted.
But I don't like chocolate.
I've never heard that before.
Really? Yeah, I haven't like grown out of it, but I'm starting to grow out of it. Like I don't like Milky Ways the way I used to. Three Musketeers aren't that good.
Okay, so like gummy bears.
I actually don't like gummy bears. I'm so sorry.
Guys, what's happening?
I'm so serious. Haribo gummy bears are hated by me.
Why?
Because they're so like hard.
Okay, but like if they were, what about gummy worms?
I love gummy worms.
Okay, I see.
And my thing is, I love the gummy Coca-Colas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what those are?
Yes. My favorite gummy candy probably is peach rings.
Love peach rings. My absolute favorite candy, I don't know of all time, but like my absolute favorite candy for like 2024, Sour Patch Peaches.
Oh, yeah. They come in the little slices?
Yes.
Yes.
Love those things down bad.
So speaking of sweet treats, one of my favorite parts about prom that literally got me so genuinely excited was the sweet treats that they had there. They had mochi donuts and crumble cookies.
That's what I heard. And by what I heard, I mean this morning. So I was like, what's next that they have there? They're like, mochi donuts, like crumble cookie. And I was like, I should have been there.
You don't understand.
I should have been in the video.
And they had like good flavors of the mochi donuts and the crumble cookies. Because you know those things rotate. Mm-hmm. They had like ube, strawberry pocky, matcha. Oof. We were eating good. And it they refilled the desserts like every hour. And like, you know that at the top of every hour it was refill gone.
Because they said people are going to start running over here. It's going to be a stampede.
And guess who was one of those people running over?
Ooh.
It's going to be me.
Just name run with Schmenabel Schmanimitas. Fun fact, Dr. Tuan thought your name was Juantas.
What? Juantas?
She was like, oh, because I was talking about you to her. And she was like, oh, and Juantas. And
honestly,
like,
that's kind of more fun. I feel like my name is kind of like I don't know.
I just call you Annabelle.
It's kind of average, but Juantas, it's got a little flavor to it.
Ooh, something that was, speaking of, I'm gonna backtrack. Speaking of lead up to prom, one thing that I love is how, were you there in the like junior group me when Miss Powell was like, hey babe, turn in those dang forms for off-campus prom tickets, please.
Yes, that was so funny.
She was like, who is bringing this person? I don't see a name signed. She was like, I'm seeing someone named, this is coming to prom, but I don't see any form.
We love Miss Powell for that.
We love Miss
And
Powell.
also, we love that, because last year, I think the deadline was you had to get in those forms, those off-campus guest forms, like 2 weeks ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doing it, like, due on, like, the week before.
Yeah.
Sometime.
I think it was like, was it that Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it
was
was
that
the Wednesday.
That's
Which
great.
which is great.
That's great.
But I'm sure more stressful for those involved.
So if you're going, if you're like an underclassman or even a junior who's going to prom next year, if you want to take someone that's off campus to prom, turn that form in, please. Because Miss Powell is going to be looking for you.
Looking out and scouting.
Scouting the land.
So back to prom.
Back to prom.
Let's just give a round of applause to the dance committee.
Yes.
Real quick. Golf claps. Thank you for those clapping at home. Because it really was just a beautiful event. And I just want to, not a lot of people talk about this, but the decorations. Top tier. Like, they had these, what are those called? Table centerpieces? Like, little candelabras and little, like, logs that were, like, so on theme. Like, I know not everyone wanted to have the theme Into the Woods. Is that what it was?
Girls Enchanted Forest.
Yeah, Into the Woods. Sorry, I'm a theater kid, so Into the Woods. Into the Woods.
A cow as white as milk.
Okay, but honestly, like, the dance committee really pulled that off.
Yes.
And there was, like, cute little photo ops. Oh, and they give little party favors to take home. And those were so cute. It was, like, a little plastic globe, and inside it had, like, little fake moss and a flower. And then a Hershey kiss. It felt like straight out of a fairy tale.
Girl,
I
that's
loved
the
it.
point. Enchanted Forest.
And I loved how many people were wearing green, too.
Because I can't say that. Actually, I will. No, I won't. Never mind.
Yeah, because everybody was wearing green because,
Not
like,
everyone.
a lot of people. Because the theme, obviously, was Into the Woods. Everyone knows.
Girl, Enchanted Forest.
And what are you going to wear to an Enchanted Forest? Green.
Yeah.
Except-
green, like greenish blue. I would say like the cold colors. Is that what they are?
Except for me, I wore red and black. Because I already had the dress. And I was like, what am I going to do? Not wear the dress? And then I came with Eli and we were matching. And he had his little red and black tie.
Oh. You guys were Enchanted Forest, but on the blood moon.
Yes.
That's when the witches
We
come.
were giving Enchanted Forest, but like the vampires and werewolves in the Enchanted Forest.
One thing I love about, I was about to get into my headcanons for like where wizards and vampires live in the woods. I'm so sorry. If you guys want to get into that, leave it in the comments. If you want to get into the socioeconomic like class of like vampires and werewolves in the Enchanted Forest.
According to Kyle Thorne.
According to Kyle Thorne.
Your world building.
Trust me, I had to hold my cough. Trust me, I've built the world.
The world is built.
The world is built.
Have you ever considered playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, I have.
You've played it or you've considered
No,
it?
I've considered it, but I need like a good group of people.
Yeah. I might be down to join that. Because my brothers have both played Dungeons and Dragons like around me and like talk about it a lot. So I kind of already have experience of like bards and stuff.
But
Bards and halflings.
I know that only like a solid 2 people in my friend group will be down to play Dungeons and Dragons.
And you need more than that.
And I need more than 3 people. I need at least 6.
It's also like an investment.
It is an investment. It's, what does it take, like a couple months, years? Depending on how long?
Yeah, it depends on the campaign. But I mean like an investment of like money too.
Oh.
Because you have to buy like the
dice.
little book, the little set.
You have to buy the book, the set, the map, the dice. Girl, the whatchamacallit. Like, oh.
Costumes if you want. Dress up like a character.
I will be costumes. That's going to be second year in. Where for that Halloween, I'll be going as my Dungeons and Dragons character. And the one I've already thought about it too.
Yeah. I feel like there's a good population of the of the world that haven't played D&D, but like already know there's
Yes.
stats and their backstory and everything like that.
I think I know my backstory.
So back to prom.
Back to prom. The one thing that I was gonna say, as someone who didn't go, I was studying when the pictures and stories would come out. I was like, so prom. And did it end at 11?
Yeah.
I was like, so prom ends at 11. So most of the posts are gonna come in around like 9, 10, and then Sunday around like early afternoon. And I was right. I'm a little bit psychic. Like,
Yeah.
so, like I know some of the girls posted early. Some of the girls were at that table at prom, like, oh yeah, I gotta post a story.
I gotta let my fans know.
I gotta let oomph know that I'm at prom.
I've yet to post any of like the pictures that we took because Eli got his fancy little camera, so we gotta wait until those are like edited. And also, it's like I'm such a nerd because I like planned out the different posts I'm gonna do. Because I have like, okay, this one's gonna go on the grid. This one's gonna go on my close friend story. This one's gonna go on my story. This one Eli's gonna post.
That's one more thing. You know what would be a great job for you?
What?
Business manager. Or like, no, whatchamacallit. That'd actually be a good job for me. Like social media manager.
Yeah.
Like if I worked for a company, McDonald's, no. Taco Bell, hire me. I could be a great social media manager.
Honestly, like those little, whenever you see like a corporate company that has like a really good social media manager, it's just like, I could do that.
I could do that.
But then it would also, I feel like if I did that, it would give me an excuse for my screen time to go, you know what I mean? And I don't need another excuse for my screen time to
I
increase.
actually need my screen time to get higher. I feel like I'm never on my phone. I'm always on that laptop.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I'm always on my laptop. I've been watching Modern Family for the past like couple months. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
I'm on season 7 of 12.
Wow.
I know.
You've been making your way through.
Oh, trust me, I've been making it. Because I just need a show to binge.
How many episodes in a season are?
24.
Yeah. Remember when TV was like that?
Guys, first of all, I'm saying this like directors are listening to our podcast. But if you ever want to become a director, Scott, pay.
Why do we call him out every episode? That's so funny.
Because he's the only person I know who directs.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to become a director, then I would say pay your writers more so that the audience can get more episodes, please. I'm sick of waiting a whole year for 8 episodes, Bridgerton, and I'm sick of like having to sit there in silence over 8 episodes that I just watched and be like, okay, so what do I do now?
But the thing is, they're longer, aren't they?
Barely.
I don't know.
It's 8-hour-long episodes when we used to get 24-hour-long episodes.
Oh, that's true.
So it's like, baby.
Well, I don't know if it was hour long, but
it was like a good 45.
Something around there.
But like 24 times 45 is more than 8 times 60.
And we won't do the math, but it's more.
But I trust and believe. Trust and believe it's more. But like I feel like shows need to like bring back their long episodes. Pay your writers more, have them in that writer's room, not just for the week, but have them in there for like a month or two. Like writing out a good story that's gonna take 24 episodes to like go.
Exactly.
You know who's the only people still doing that?
Who?
Law and Order.
Well, of course.
Law and Order, NCIS, and like the Chicago girls. They're the only people. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like Chicago Med,
Chicago PD.
Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. They're the only people who are still like doing the 24. And I need more of us to step up our game. Netflix, HBO,
Yeah.
Hula.
Yeah, because we have so much influence. One last thing I wanted to touch on about Prom is, oopsies, my mic, aka my phone, just fell.
You don't have to tell them that.
The playlist, like I mentioned before, the playlist was good.
Yes.
It had people on the floor. It also had a good amount of slow dances.
We said it had people on the floor. The girls were gagging? Sorry. Anyways.
Yes, I feel like the dance floor was alive with the sound of music.
The hills are alive.
It wasn't even on purpose. It's coming out of my mouth as I said it.
We need to finish.
Yeah, we started watching Moulin Rouge. We need to finish Moulin Rouge.
We do.
So, since we're hitting around the 20-minute mark, do you want to dive into that?
Yes.
Advice column? Alrighty, so.
Don't read the first 4, because those are ones that we've already tackled.
Okay, so, first question. How to make friends?
How to make friends. Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I've thought about this question a lot, and it's like how to make friends. I know, I know I'm an eccentric, outgoing person, so like it's
Right.
easier for me to say this, but personally, just like literally talk to new people. Because like the way that me and Annabelle became friends, I was like, I'm bored at this table. Let me go back. Let me go to the back of chemistry and hang out with like these girls. And that's how I met like you, Amani, Scott, Michael, and it's like these are some great friends. How I met my like friends. Literally like a homegirl just invited me to have lunch with her, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
And it's just like to make friends, simply look at who you want to be friends with, talk to them, like be around them in class. One of my little life hacks, ask them a question you already know the answer to in the middle of class. Be like, oh, so how do I do this? And then be like, oh yeah, yada yada yada. And then you'd be like, oh okay. And then keep doing that until you like start talking about like life stuff.
But make sure you don't look like
Yeah,
completely incompetent.
make sure you don't look like too out of it.
Like, don't be in math class and be like, oh, what's 2 + 2? Just to start a conversation.
You have to be like, oh, like how do you do logs? How do you do this arithmetic? What's the square root?
Yes. Are you sure we haven't answered this yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've both imagined answering this question so much that it feels like we've already answered it.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm doing the Emmas again.
And that's okay.
If you want to make friends, join clubs.
Yes.
Seika, despite our small number of students, we have a big number of clubs.
Yes.
Like, so many clubs that I think there's something for everyone. Especially because, like, with Key Club and FNL, it's like, that's not a specific interest you need to have to join those clubs.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like an excuse for people to get together.
Yeah. That's how you make friends, actually. Because like being in yearbook, I'm closer with people that I never even thought I would be close to.
Oh my God, same for mock trial. It's honestly like, I, as a freshman, had like senior friends because we just had mock trial together.
Yeah.
And that was, made me feel so cool.
No, because like I'll be talking to some of my oomps who are in like leadership, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like this person." I'm like, "Y'all hang out?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're in like leadership together. We're in the spirit committee or whatever."
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm piggybacking off what Annabelle said. Join clubs and simply just put yourself out there. That's how you make friends.
I saw this good piece of advice on TikTok one time, I think. And it was like, one way to get friends is every time something weird happens, decide on someone you're going to look at. Make eye contact with them. Make a little funny face like, what just happened? And that will create a bond. Then you can start talking about it like later, like, oh my God, did you see that? Da-da-da-da-da. It's really like a super easy point of connection that you could have with anyone.
Yes.
So that's really handy.
That's how I became friends with a lot of my friends, actually. Like, I was in Mr. Colossus' class. He'd said something, like, out of pocket. And I just looked over at, like, the table across the room. I was like, that was kind of weird. And then we became friends.
Which Mr. Colosso loves to do.
Mr. Colosso is one of the main reasons why you can use Annabelle's method of making friends. If something weird happens and then you look across that room, thank Mr. Colosso for your friend group.
And that just keeps it fresh and lively.
Yes.
Okay. So, next question. This is a big question.
Okay.
How does one know what to do with their life, you know? Like, what do you guys want to do career-wise or like college-wise? 3 eyebrow raising emojis. I'll start off with this one. So there's obviously not like a set roadmap for how you decide what your career is going to be. And I feel like for a lot of people, especially if you're going to Seika, which is such a college-focused school, like if you're going to Seika, it's basically out of question. Like you're going to college, like period, point blank. And that can feel like a lot of pressure for people because you're like in high school success and you feel like you have to know what the rest of your life is going to be like. And personally, I would just, obviously this is kind of obvious, but just reflect on what interests you. Pay attention. Maybe you don't know what you want to pursue right now, but if you really reflect on it, then it'll be easier. pay attention to what you're into, pay attention to in class, what are some specific things that stand out to you, and you're like, I could find a job in this.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I'm sorry to Miss Kelly, but for that HSS assignment, I just put down a random college. Like I fully did not know where I was going, and I barely knew what field I wanted to go into. But like, I think I barely figured it out like this year that I wanted to go into like child psychology, and I want to apply to like great schools with psychology programs.
And while Seika might make you feel the pressure to like figure all that stuff out so early, it's also an amazing opportunity because you get to start picking and taking college classes that help you get an idea. Like, I know psychology probably was a big part in what decided that you wanted to have child psychology as your career. So also be able to look forward to that because we have more flexibility in that way than other high schoolers are going to have. Because, you know, high school classes, you got to like commit for a whole year.
Yes.
But college classes is just like a semester.
Well, except for like the language classes.
Oh, true.
But who wants to like graduate with a language? A lot of people actually.
Yeah.
I want to get my AA in French. La français.
Honestly, wouldn't be mad if I got like a degree in ASL.
Yeah, you could be like an ASL doctor.
Well, like a PhD in ASL.
Yes.
That'd be crazy.
PhD ASL.
I just don't feel like I'm immersed enough in the deaf community.
Oh.
I think that's what's holding me back.
We could help you with that.
You can?
I was gonna say something so bad, like we could put your ears near some speakers and just like make you deaf.
Kion.
I'm sorry.
So that's how you figure out.
That's how you figure out what you want to do with life.
Also, I would, as a word of advice, just because you go to college for one thing doesn't mean that's going to be your life.
Yes. You can, I don't know if it's easy, but you can change majors, I'm pretty sure.
You can change majors. Also, like, there's a bunch of industries that don't value a college degree as much as they do. It's more useful to have networking, connections, experience,
yes,
which is obviously something you can gain more easily in college. So I'm not saying college is useless, right?
But like college has some uses, but it's not needed for your whole life.
And it's not, like, for example, film school. In the film industry, a film degree isn't something that's like necessary. But
it
when
helps.
in going to film school, you're surrounded by peers, like-minded peers that are also going in the same industry that you can call on for help, and you have these professors that you have connections to get advice. That's still all very valuable things that you're getting in college.
Yes.
So I would just say, hopefully that relieves some of the pressure that you might be putting on yourself to pick an alley for you to go down, a pathway.
A pathway. How do you know what to do with your life? Girl, you figure it out.
So, did we want to talk about that Timmy lore?
Can we do one more confession?
Okay, once again, most of these... okay, we could do this one, What is the best way to read a lot of textbook pages? Or, how do you guys get through it? Because reading documents or the history textbook bores me. That's so real. Hello?
Sorry. Had a frog in my throat.
Personally, if I have to read a lot, it helps for me to read it out loud. And that might take a little bit longer, but it just helps for me to read it out loud, because then I feel like it's easier for my brain to ingest it. If you have, I know this is specifically asking about the history textbook, but if you have online things, I will put it in a text-to-speech generator, so it'll read it aloud for me in that way. And then also you can turn the speed up, which is nice. And then it's just like a podcast.
Yeah.
Like if you can listen to this, you can listen to it. Okay, it's not the same thing, but it's like,
because we're fun.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, history textbook isn't going to be as entertaining as
the Timmy Talk podcast.
Right. Because this is the most entertaining thing you've ever listened to.
Of course.
But I think it helps alleviate that, especially if you're like we said, covered in previous podcasts, if you're not a visual learner, you'll appreciate the audio. Also, not to like include more advice that I got from TikTok/Reels, but apparently if you like are reading and you're not taking notes, but you just like scribble while you read, it tells your brain that like you're writing it down so it retains a little bit more. I don't know if there's any scientific backup for that, but I saw people saying like, oh yeah, this helps.
One of my ways that I like to read books, and this is gonna sound super weird, there's no scientific like statistics backing this, but one of my favorite ways to get through a big book is romanticize reading it. And by that I mean like put your glasses on, get some lovely lo-fi music in the background.
Get some tea.
Exactly. And act like someone's making an edit of you reading this book. That's how I get through it.
You're gonna be so like academia coded when you read.
And Annabelle, that actually works for me. Like I'll put on my glasses, I'll put on some I put on Nintendo music. But it's like chill Nintendo music. I put on Wii Music Sounds 3-hour relaxation mix. And I put on my glasses and I get through that book. I don't speed through it, but I do. I love to read.
And maybe a change of scenery could always help, just for studying in general. Like if you want to go to your local library or just like the park. Like honestly, reading a textbook, that doesn't sound fun. Reading in the park,
no, that sounds fun.
That's a little outing.
And also, if you're reading in the park, someone cute might come up to you and be like, oh, so what are you reading? And you'd be like, oh, I'm reading this book, yada, yada, yada.
I'm reading this textbook about the Black Death. Oh my God, I know that one.
Yes, I know the Black Death. Isn't that the one that like killed a bunch of people?
Yes.
Did it kill like 70% of the population in Europe? Oh my God.
And that's how romance blooms.
That is how romance blooms. One time I was reading a book in a park and why was I about to lie? Why was I about to make a story of...
And I wasn't going to stop you.
You really weren't? I'm so used to making up things.
So something completely unrelated from lying. The story behind Timmy the Timberwolf. Do you have a little bit to tell us about that?
Okay, so Timmy the Timberwolf. So here's what happened. Timmy was born to Tamantha and Timortha. Hold on. Timmy was born to Tamantha and Timortha Wolf, and that's how we got little Timothy Wolf. But everyone just calls him Timber.
Where was he born?
St. Luna.
St. Luna?
Yes.
Is Timmy the Timberwolf a...
No.
Okay. I was going to ask you if he's a werewolf, but I guess all
Don't
wolves
say
like
that
to...
out loud.
It's a werewolf.
Shush. He doesn't want people to know. Anyway, so he was born in St. Luna to Tamantha and Timortha, right? He was born in
I think you changed the name.
I didn't. And sure, trust me, I didn't. Anyway, so he was born Tamantha and Timortha. And so he was born in St. Luna, and then he was like, I want a better life. And so then he...
Everyone knows that St. Luna, life in St. Luna is rough, bro.
Life in St. Luna is rough, because all they have is the moon. It's like Alaska, where they only have the sun for a couple months, but they only have the moon for a couple months. And then all the wolves go crazy. And like, no offense to like Timmy, but he was the like bottom rank of his pack.
It's giving Rudolph.
I know, poor little... Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
My bad, keep going.
A little background information. I have been talking to Annabelle about making a Rudolph musical for the past couple months. And I cannot get started on this right now. Anyways, so life in St. Luna, rough. Wolves go wild. Tim was the bottom of his pack. And it was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to go to America. I want to move to California. And I want to become an actor.
Sunny California.
Sunny California. It's always sunny in California. And I've always said that.
Close enough.
And so then he moved to LA. He wanted to become an actor, but he didn't get any roles. He booked like one Walmart commercial. He was in an Old Navy ad for a little bit. And then he was like, ugh, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a wolf in a Walmart ad, then you know who that is.
And if you've ever been to LA, you know why he'd want to leave. No offense.
Goodbye.
And so then he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to move down. I'm going to go to like some underground city that no one knows, that like I could probably put on the map. So he moved to Stockton, right? Then the first principal of Stockton Early College Academy was like, hey, we need a mascot. I heard that you're an actor. I talked to some people down in LA. They said you're really good at what you do. Yada,
we can get you a gig.
We can get you a gig the next 15 years of your life. And then he got like full coverage, full dental, like full Medicaid, healthcare, dental, spousal support,
dental,
alimony.
healthcare, and dental, pay vacation time off.
Exactly. And they said, babe, all you need to work is like the spirit rally, school events, and just like run around for a little bit, right?
It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
You're good with kids, right?
And so then Timmy, like, he has kids.
Sorry.
Timmy has kids. And so he was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep running around this school, yada, yada, yada. So then he was like, what if once a year I turned a new student into a werewolf and they take my place? And so then he did that. He stopped around year 5. So like for the past 10 years.
He was tired.
Yes. So for the past 10 years, we've always had a new wolf. And that's why, because Timmy has kids, he wants to go.
That's why we have tryouts.
Exactly. So we can know who the next werewolf is going to be. And so then one time, Tom Holland was down in Stockton shooting a movie or whatever. It got scrapped. It was supposed to be Spider-Man No Way Home, and this was supposed to be like his home city, but then they were like, no. Steven Spielberg was like, no, we don't want to shoot here. Yada, yada, yada. And so then Timmy, because Tom Holland looks so young, he accidentally bit Tom Holland. And then Tom Holland was like, oi, bro, you bit me. And then he was like, oh, well, you're the next werewolf, so.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the prequel to our podcast trailer that diehard fans, and especially that 15th listener, definitely watched. So hopefully you enjoyed that very real lore that kind of definitely did not make up on the spot.
Of course I did. I thought about this for the past 10 years.
And hopefully you enjoyed that whole episode, because it's like, we're ending it now.
Yes. I'm the werewolf. All right, bye, guys.
No. Okay.
Once again, if you want me to talk about the like social economic classes of werewolves and vampires in the Enchanted Forest, leave that in the comments down below.
Also, don't forget, fill out for our suggestion box, things you want us to talk about, questions that you have for us, and we're going to open up
our guest forum.
Yup.
If you want to be a guest on the Timmy Talk podcast, where are we going to put the,
we're going to put it in our bio.
Yes. We're going to put it in the bio.
And probably in the description as well.
Yes. So that you can sign up to be a guest on our podcast. Just make sure you talk to your 1R teacher, because that's when we record these.
Yeah, if you have like an ASL or something, that's best.
If you have like an ASL 1R or like a something 1R. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you, 15th listener.
We love you.
Bye.